Yes, good morning. So we're now on our eighth lesson, and this is all about expressing emotions and giving affirmations. So in our previous discussions, we were actually talking about on how we properly going to react with the actions given to us or responded to us by someone else and the way on how we responded positively, not in a negative actions. At this point, we're going to move on for lesson 8, and this is all about expressing emotions and giving affirmation. This is a way of building authentic connections through healthy communication. So when we are talking about affirmation, it's just like you let somebody, people around you, to affirm what exactly are you trying to point out? It might be kind of expressions that you would like to bring it out. It could also be a kind of status that you have, or it might also be an achievement that you have. In affirming this kind of actions, orally written, or it could also be in a form of body language. Most likely, the affirmation is always expressing in a positive manner. And even though the affirmations supposedly turn out to be negative, that negative vibe should not supposed to be expressed sarcastically or drastically, so that the recipients may not supposed to experience a little bit downfall or discouragement when is expecting something positive and yet it is not being acquired from the speaker or from the sender. Okay, let's move on. um, Emotional expression means sharing feelings honestly and respectfully. When we are expressing our emotions with someone else, we are basically sharing these feelings honestly and respectfully, especially if the kind of feeling is something that is really emotional. And in most cases, affirmations offer sincere, positive recognitions to others, especially those people who are have achieved something and then they are not being affirmed by someone else, especially those people whom they love so much. In this regards, if ever you have friends or family members who would like to be affirmed for the kind of achievements or even recognitions that they were able to succeed during the time of their hardship and effort, they've been working on that recognition. And if your brother, your younger brother or younger sister at this kind of achievement, you have to affirm him. You have to affirm the recognitions that he or she was able to achieve from the effort and hardship that he had. So in this way, a kind of relief is still going to be achieved by the person himself or herself, as he was being affirmed for that kind of recognition. And then they are poster trust, expressing empathy, a stronger relationship. Um, when we say empathy, it's just like you're seeing, you are trying to see what kind of feelings, difficulties that this person's gone through in his life, and you would also feel the same way too. So it's not actually a sympathizing, but it's just like a matter of putting yourself into that person and how would he supposed to feel whenever he was struggling with so much difficulties and trials in his life. So it's just like showing your deepest understanding for the person. And then cues can be verbal, feeling, feel proud of you, or nonverbal, a warm smile or a nodding of your head. For example, when you're when you are when you are approving something, you are trying to thumbs up your hands, or you're finger or thumb finger that you are agreeing for the things that the person is actually pointing out or conveying for a certain matter. And all these things are part of effective communication. Okay, let's try to see this picture and how it works. So, which do you think is the most appropriate picture between the two? Or better, I mean, better pictures that would suggest appropriately or inappropriately. Obviously, they are already labeled with this. The first one is appropriate in a sense that the aura of the young child is actually indicating or insinuating positive attitude towards other. The eyes are blinking and are ready to appreciate something to whoever who would like to express, whoever would like to offer something. So there is already a sense of appreciation as he opened up his two hands. And then the other one is it is inappropriate because there is a sort of disgusting on his face, and at the same time his two hands is being pulled on closely. So he's not welcoming anybody, whatever things they would like to offer. And even though eyebrows are wrinkled, so it really shows the negative actions verbally. So this is the kind of actions that we consider inappropriate when somebody is actually expressing something. So when one is actually expressing something good or something bad, you're not going to dismay or disgust the person, even though it is something negative. You show back positive way so that in return this person would also realize that the kind of actions that she did, it's something that is not really desirable or appropriate as well. Okay, let's continue. So how will you express your emotions and affirm to others today? So expressing my emotions and affirms others today is that whenever a person is actually striving for a certain thing, for example, in a class discussion, there are lots of students in the class who are not really participating open times or frequently, and whenever that there is one isolated person who was able to join in the discussions, and then the teacher must give some kind of commendable or even affirmations that these persons who had never used to participate frequently in the discussions must be recognized and affirm the effort that he was able to do during the class participation. Okay, that's a good beginning, and that's a way of saying you're doing well. It's a good job, and now he's beginning to recognize also that he is still part of the sections. He has still a sense of belongingness in the class. Okay, then we also have emotions are the language of the heart. Of course, there is a saying. Whenever you are showcasing your eyes, I mean displaying your eyes outwardly, whatever kind of feelings that you have in your heart, it will totally be seen on your eyes because the eyes serve to be the windows of our soul. So that's why basically we always coming up into that kind of expressions. Affirmations are its music practice, mindful communication daily. So the affirmation is actually a matter of it's not only recognizing something, it's not only achieving something, but also in terms of actions on how did you actuate. For example, being happy. Okay, so you look so happy because you have achieved something, and then you are affirming that. So the verbal and nonverbal are also observed and seen during this process of affirming something. Okay, sometimes Practice mindful communications and questions and reflections are being welcome at the same time. For example, if you are being affirmed by one of your friends, and then on the other hand, there are also some other factions of classmates of yours who are not really to appreciate that you are really capable, or you are really achieving such kind of improvement for affirmation. So in that way, since it is a negative in vibe, you are not going to dismiss yourself for that matter, because you do know yourselves that whatever things that you have achieved, you are the one who's actually responsible for that kind of achievements, because you made yourself be proud of yourself. Okay, so this is just only for lesson 4. I hope I was able to share something about this lesson 8. I'm sorry, it's for lesson 8. Actually, this was actually studied, shared with other sections, technicals and server, if I'm not mistaken. So I would just like to share these lessons for everyone. Okay, thank you for listening and even watching for these slides for a simple discussions for the lesson. Have a nice day to everyone.